Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Cinema.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we're giving you our final thoughts on Tekhenu.
Yeah, you're like trying to do it like a surprise, like if nobody watched actually the name of the video. So we did a first impressions video on this game. We played the game and then we gave our first impressions on it.
Yes.
So we thought like, because this is one of the games that are really into the genres that we like, the heavier games. So we thought it would be fun to actually make a last impression, like a final thoughts video. So this is not going to be a full review. We're not going to go all the categories that we do in the full reviews. This is just going to be like a conversation about the game and rambling a bit, because we are best at rambling.
If you haven't watched our playthrough, go watch that. That is good.
Or just go and watch the actual, just go and play the actual game.
Play the game, yeah.
You would rather play the game and watch us play it, I hope. If you have, if you like games.
Yeah.
So let's talk a bit about the game then. Basically, this is not going to be this, as I just said. I would have said it. It's going to be final thoughts. So one of the biggest things that we thought when we played it, we have played it now 5 times, which might not sound like many, but it's pretty high number for a game that is so big and involved. We played it all player counts. I think you played it 5. I think I played it 6 times because I played it one more than you.
True.
And we played it all player counts except the solo mode, because we don't play solo. We talked about that before. So because we are 2 players and we usually play games together. So we have played 2, 3, and 4 players,
Yes.
not 5, because you can't play 5. It's not possible. It would
Thank
be
you
just
for that information.
one player just sitting watching, and that would be he could be the bank. Like one player can be the bank, give you the resources when you need them. So
That
with 5
hurts.
players today, we could play Tekhenu. You could just be the bank.
I'm the bank again.
That one player you don't really want to play. We're like, oh, yeah, I'm really happy being the bank. I'm gonna send you a papyrus now.
Yeah.
Papyrus.
Yeah.
So yeah. What do you think about the player count? Like, is it better with more? And what player count do you like it the best?
We thought it was okay with 2, and it's still
We
okay
thought it
with
was
2.
good with 2. Like,
Yeah,
we thought it
yeah.
was amazing with 2.
It's good with 2.
No,
but it's,
amazing with 2.
But it shines with more players. With 3 and 4, wow, the interaction with more players, really good, really crunchy. I love it.
Yeah, so I would say like most of the times a game like this is best at 3 players.
Yes.
I'm a bit unsure if I like it best at 3 or 4.
Ah.
Because at 4 is just super duper tight. Everything tightens up and the game doesn't go for that long. I know people say like, oh, it's so long with 4 players. We played it 4 players, 1 new player in 2 hours and 20 minutes. I don't think that's a very long game. I think that's like a normal evening game. Like, we usually play games that are 2 to 3 hours long, so that isn't really a long game for me.
And you could get that down to 2 hours
I think
easily,
you get it to 2 hours,
Yeah.
I feel like, when you have played it a few times or you have only players who have played it before. So I think maybe I like it best at 4. I would never say no to play it at 3, and I don't think I would need to play it at 2 anymore. Because it's good with 2. But there's a couple of things, like it's especially like the 2 areas, the temple and where you build the production buildings. Those are the places where there are a big bit of interaction, or a lot of interaction, and of course in drafting the dice and so on. But one thing I speculated in after playing it 3 times to 2 players was the fact that it's harder to go for a very specific strategy, because there's only one other player. So let's say, for example, in the resource buildings, where if you have the most in a row, you get 3 points. 3 points won't win you the game, but if, let's say, you play 4 buildings there, that's 12 points, that's 24 points if you get that first and second time. And that's in a game where you end up maybe between 80 and 110 points. It's a pretty high amount of points.
Yeah.
So you feel like you have to go in, and it's good to go there. So you feel like you have to go in and do some of that. When you play with more players, you don't really need to do that, because most of the time other players are gonna. So 2 players might focus on that, and then you can basically ignore it if you want to, and that works with the strategy. So I feel like it's more open with more players. Strangely enough, it's more open for doing different strategies, even though it's a lot tighter on the board.
Yes, I see what you mean. I really think it's really good with more players, because you can see also how the different strategies interact with each other, like the statues. It's different. I feel like it's balanced with all player counts though, but it's different. You can kind of take advantage of what the other players are doing on that strategy. I feel like actually our first impressions are really accurate still today.
But I like it I like it more and more, really,
Yes.
because I get more into the game, I understand it more. There is one, like, if we're gonna go to nitpicking and say something, because I have a hard time finding things I don't like about the game. Because most games I would say like, oh, I like a lot of these things, but maybe like this isn't the best, this is the best. It's like, 2 things. Obviously, there's gonna be times where you flip over cards, and after I take new cards from the card row, and I flip over new cards. There's gonna be cards that works perfectly for you and your next player, and you can go and get them.
Yeah.
But that happens in all games that have cards, like all games that have. So that is not a thing that you can really. It happens, but it hasn't really. And no cards are so good that they will win you the game. There is the one thing, like the decree cards. You start with one of them at the beginning of the game. We didn't have playthrough because we did that wrong. But you start with one at the beginning of the game, and that's gonna be kind of might tell you what to go for.
Yes,
at
I like
least
that.
a bit. And some of them give you the possibility to get up to, I think, 20 points is a cap for many of them. And I feel like if you get a play strategy where you can get 3 of these cards, maybe 4 of them, and you can score 10 to 15 to 20 points on each of them, it's going to be hard to win over such a strategy.
Oh, yeah, I get what you mean. I don't think that the decree cards necessarily win you the game.
No.
But they're certainly very, very helpful. Their endgame scoring, so I feel like there's always good to go for endgame scoring.
Yeah.
But you have to then have actually enough happiness that you have decree cards available to you, and then you have to be a little lucky to get decree cards that you can actually use. I'm sure how much that actually is that you have to have them.
I feel like so far, if the player who has won, if they have gone like this in the games where somebody has gone heavy for getting more decree cards, they have usually won.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, they're very good. The cards are very, very good. And I think it's hard to ignore them completely and win the game. Because they have some very good abilities, some very good stuff. Like, for example, I get an action for free. Or I go and take 3 cards, and one of them is a free action. I basically add 2 more cards. So it is... I feel like they are a big part of the game, and they are like the hardest in the beginning. Like that's one of the reasons I think is why scores go up after the first couple times you play, because you get more cards.
Yeah.
Because the cards are easier, are ways to manipulate the game and makes the game easier to score points, basically.
I love the cards, absolutely, but not all of the decree cards are good. Like there's some decree cards that scores you a maximum of, I think, 8 points or something.
Okay.
So it doesn't.
I don't remember. Yeah.
If you have something like that and you have many decree cards with few points, you could lose to someone with 1 good decree card.
Yeah,
I think.
I like the way that they have basically balanced that strategy, because you can score a maximum of, I think, 3 or 4, I think. 4 or 3 cards, and they have to be the different.
I think there's 3.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, but they have capped that, so you can't go for a spamming strategy. We just go and grab more and more and more and more,
true.
and you score. Even though if I get 15 cards and I would score 4 on each, that would still be 40-50 points. So I think that's a very good way of balancing that, so that it doesn't feel too overpowered. But I'm unsure. If it's possible to go for a non-decree strategy and then win against someone who gets a lot of decree points.
Yeah.
I'm unsure if you can get enough points, because I'm not going to go and get decree cards and not get points throughout the game, because most of the things I need to do to get scoring for those decree cards is also going to get me scoring throughout the game. So that is one thing I'm unsure of. But other than that, I can't find things I don't like about the game. This is a good game. This is one of the best games I have ever played. This is just so much fun. It's just this game gives me, it has the very interesting dice drafting. I like that, balancing out the pure and the tainted. I really like that. I just like playing the game. I just feel like every decision is meaningful. You only have 16 actions, which is just so tight. And I love games where you have to every time you do an action that feels suboptimal, you're gonna be oh, I don't want to do that. It feels bad.
Yeah, I really love this game as well. This just keeps being really fun every time I play it. I figure I want to play this game more and more and more and more. Yeah. This is just right up our alley. One thing that I have noticed when I played some more times is the dice. Sometimes, and this luck in dice are kind of the same for everyone, because there's a common dice pool, but sometimes you can end up in a situation where almost all the dice are forbidden or just bad, and then you have very few options to what to actually do.
Yeah, but that's going to be the same for almost anybody, and it's going to be that just changes up how the game feels. Really, for me.
Absolutely.
I feel like a game where that happens, it's going to be a bit tighter and a bit harder to get done what you're wanting to do. But then if you have the card that makes you take forbidden dice, that's very, very powerful.
And decide whether they are pure or tainted. That feels really powerful.
That's very, very good.
Yeah, the game feels really balanced otherwise, and I I'm in love with this game.
Oh, it's amazing.
This is so good.
And many people are like asking, oh, is it better than Teotihuacan? Is it better than Tolkien? Because they are game by Daniel Tascini. He's been a designer or co-designer on all of these
Starts
games.
with T.
And it's not tea games. Not tea you drink, but tea like the letter. And they are very different games, but for me, I feel like it's going to be now. It's going to be Tekhenu, Tolkien, Teotihuacan.
Yeah,
I like
that.
Teotihuacan, but I think this is a lot better for me. Just like all the things I like in Teotihuacan, or it's so different, but all the things
very
here
different games,
are
though, but
very good. I love this game. Do you want to do final thoughts?
Yeah, I want to do that. I love everything almost about this game. This is close to perfect Euro game. This is practically a beige Euro game. It's so beige.
It's beige.
It's beige like the desert.
Beige is the color of my heart.
Yeah. And so I want to give it a 9.
Yeah.
This is a game that you have to check out if you like heavy games, or if you like dry Euros, if you like Daniele Tascini. Go check it out.
Or David Turcic, because I also made this. I'm really looking forward to Tavantinsuyu. That's coming.
Another tea game
October,
that is impossible to pronounce.
No, I think I can
actually pronounce it.
Tavantinsuyu. I think it's that. I think, but it also looks amazing. But this is so good. This is amazing. This is like. It makes me happy. It gives me that feeling that the first time I played this, I had the same feeling of the first time I played Fis Rodin and Lisboa, for some example, which are in my top 10. These are games that just makes me feel pure joy inside. It's like a cannon of fun, like fun everywhere. It's just fun all the time. The decision is fun, the gameplay is fun, the interaction is fun, the crunching, the tightness, everything works amazing. Couple of nitpicks, as I said, but this is a 9.5 from me. So far. It might drop, I don't know. But this is just a game. This is a game I really want to play more. This is a game I want to have in the collection. I hope there's going to be an expansion so we have an excuse to play it again.
Yes.
And that is an amazing game, and hopefully a good review or final thoughts. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know. Have you played the game? Do you like it? If not, let us know why. And that's the end of the video.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Sunniva.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.